Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, Israel stepping up its attacks in Gaza City using precision strikes on Hamas targets. The Israeli Defense Forces' main goal, bringing the hostages home, while Israel says Hamas has turned Gaza City into the largest human shield in history. Here at home, the suspect in the assassination of conservative Christian political activist Charlie Kirk likely facing the death penalty, as investigators are trying to find out if others also knew of the attempt on his life. And our Studio 5 conversation with pioneers of contemporary Christian music, The Archers. They're talking about their first full-length album in decades. All those stories and more right now on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
It is Wednesday, the 17th of September, going to begin this half hour in the Middle East, where Israel's ground operation against Hamas in Gaza City is ramping up. At the same time, its defense force says Hamas has turned Gaza City into the largest human shield ever. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's been invited to visit the White House again. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl brings us the story, reporting now from Jerusalem.
As Israeli troops penetrate deeper into Gaza City, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says nearly 400,000 Gazans have left the area.
Today, I gave an order in a discussion at the Ministry of Defense to find ways to allow them to leave more easily. They want to leave. They want to get out of there from the city because they're responding to us and not to Hamas, which, by the way, is shooting at them to prevent them from doing so.
The IDF issued a map showing a new transportation route that it's open to the south, which will be available to Gazans for 2 days.
The situation is very difficult for us, and we have no money at all. My father is in poor health and needs help to push the handcart. There is no safe place in Gaza, and we'll have to sleep on the street like others tonight.
IDF spokesman Brigadier General Effie Defreen says Israeli forces are using precision strikes with air, ground, and intelligence forces to strike Hamas military targets in what he called the central hub of the terror group's military and governing power.
Hamas has turned Gaza City into the largest human shield in history. Beneath the streets runs a vast network of tunnels connecting command centers, rocket launchers, and weapon storage facilities, all deliberately hidden under civilians and civilian infrastructure.
He says the IDF's main mission is to bring the 48 hostages home.
Hamas continues to hold dozens of our hostages in inhuman conditions. Their safe return is at the forefront of our mission. They are the reason we continue our fight.
Despite nearly 2 years of war and other challenges, Netanyahu told the nation on Tuesday the economy is in good shape.
The Israeli economy is very strong. I have terrific confidence in it. It is strong, it is innovative. It weathered 2 economic crises. The corona crisis came out first in the world, and the two-year war, where we have an enormous amount of investments. People are coming, and they'll continue to come for everything that we're doing, not only the economy and the technology of today, but the technology of the future, cyber, AI, and so many other things.
The Prime Minister also announced President Trump invited him to the White House in late September after Netanyahu addresses the UN General Assembly. It will be their 4th meeting at the White House since Trump took office in January. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Our Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell joining us now to continue our coverage today. So, Chris, how successful has Israel been in helping people get out of harm's way in Gaza City?
Well, Ephraim, I think it's been very successful, but not successful enough so far. As Julie said, 400,000 Gazans have already left the city, but this is out of a city of maybe 900,000 to 1 million. That's why they've opened up that second corridor so people can get out safely. And this is a whole design behind this effort by the IDF, is to make sure the Gazans are not in harm's way. They're not the human shields that Hamas is using. So very successful, but they're also, they want more and more people to come out as they progress to defeat Hamas militarily, but also, as Julie said, make sure that they can get those 48 remaining hostages, 20 that they believe are still alive.
Is Hamas following through on its plan to use the hostages as human shields against Israeli forces?
Well, Ephraim, nothing we've seen so far that is maybe the threat that they would bring them above ground, put them in harm's way, put them in shooting range of a tank or a platoon of IDF soldiers. We haven't heard of anything quite yet, but that is a threat that Hamas has said, something that President Trump warned Hamas about 2 days ago, and said that this was one of the worst atrocities you can imagine. So right now, many people are hoping, praying for the deliverance of those 48 remaining hostages. Many believe they're in Gaza City, likely been in those tunnels for many, many months.
What can you tell us about the Israeli attacks on Hamas in Gaza City?
Well, as the IDF chief spokesman said, targeted. They're trying to make sure that they don't put IDF soldiers unnecessarily in harm's way, or the Gazan civilians. In preparation to the ground offensive, the IDF has been hitting many of these high-rise buildings inside Gaza City. Why? Because Hamas has been using them as headquarters, command centers, sniper positions where they could attack IDF soldiers. So what they're doing is they're trying to eliminate these Hamas infrastructure and any threats to IDF soldiers. But before they eliminate these buildings, they're telling people to evacuate. They do it consistently. They send text messages, phone calls, and then these leaflets we heard about. We're telling people where to leave from and where to go to, because they're also simultaneously building up humanitarian areas, fresh water, food, and supplies for these people leaving Gaza City.
Chris, I can't help but to notice the uniqueness of where you are. Can you tell us where you are now and more about that location?
Yeah, well, I'm actually in a place called Magdala, which is on the shores of the Sea of Galilee. I'm not too far from Lebanon, just a few miles up the road. And I have to think, a year ago, Ephraim, this is the one-year anniversary of that famous or infamous beeper attack against many Hezbollah operatives that eliminated or took out of commission literally hundreds of Hamas Hezbollah operatives. That was the beginning of the end, it seemed, for Hezbollah. When you came up here a year ago, Ephraim, Israel would scramble the GPS, so your GPS would tell you you're in Beirut when you knew you were in the Galilee. So a lot has happened in the past year. Hezbollah is not near the threat it ever was. In fact, right now, inside Lebanon, the Lebanese army is trying to disarm Hezbollah. Something seemed to be fantasy a year ago.
Prime Minister Netanyahu says Israel's economy is strong even after 2 years of war. Is that your observation as a journalist as well?
Yeah, what I've heard, the stock market is up, remarkably, and I think the economy has been tremendously resilient despite 2 years of war, with having thousands, tens of thousands of reservists out from their businesses into the army and on the front lines. One other thing I would say, that the tourism industry has been hit quite hard, and I don't think that's going to recover maybe months after the war ends, and if hopefully it ends very soon. But overall, the economy has been running strong despite the war. And I would say that Prime Minister also Netanyahu said that he's going to make sure that they have an independent way of producing arms and weapons. And that's something they've been saying since the very beginning of the war. They might have a great administration right now in the White House supporting them, but that can always change. So they want to make sure they have independent access to their own weapon systems.
Speaking of the White House, what does Israel expect from Netanyahu's visit to the White House at the end of this month?
Well, Ephraim, I would expect greater coordination. What's going to happen after the war? 2 weeks could be, many people are hoping this could be the last major offensive by the IDF to disarm and defeat Hamas. So I would say they're going to be talking about what's next for Gaza City, Gaza, with the whole Gaza Strip, and what role the White House will play, the U.S. will play, and what they're going to keep going towards what looks like a new Middle East after this 2-year war.
All right, Chris Mitchell, our CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief, thank you for your insight. Look forward to talking to you in the remaining days ahead this week. Coming up, prosecutors are likely to seek the death penalty against the suspected assassin of conservative Christian political activist Charlie Kirk. We're going to share what investigators have learned when we come back. You're watching CBN NewsWatch. Today marks exactly 1 week since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The suspect, Tyler Robinson, made his appearance in court for the first time, where he was arraigned and is likely to face the death penalty. Police are also looking for others who may have known Robinson was going to try to kill Kirk. CBN's Dale Hurd has this story.
Tyler Robinson is now charged with 7 counts, including aggravated murder, after appearing in court by video.
State of Utah versus Tyler James Robinson. Could you state your name?
Tyler James Robinson.
Authorities are also investigating more than 20 people with alleged ties to Robinson on the online messaging platform Discord, trying to determine if anyone knew of his alleged plan ahead of time. In court, Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray laid out the case against Robinson. Gray said Robinson's parents recognized him from images circulated after the attack, and that when they confronted him, the suspect told them why he did it.
Robinson explained there is too much evil, and the guy, referring to Charlie Kirk, spreads too much hate.
After the assassination, Robinson texted his boyfriend.
The roommate received a text message from Robinson which said, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." The roommate looked under the keyboard and found a note that stated, quote, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out."
Gray said at first the roommate thought Robinson was joking, but Robinson insisted he wasn't.
"To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you."
You are a political buffoon at best.
As shouting matches erupted in a hearing between FBI Director Kash Patel and Democratic senators in Congress, House Speaker Mike Johnson said lawmakers must tone down the rhetoric.
It leads to bad consequences. Leaders cannot call their political opponents Nazis and fascists and enemies of the state because they disagree with their policy priorities.
Attorney General Pam Bondi stepped into controversy Tuesday when she said this about hate speech in America.
We will absolutely target you, go after you, if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything, and that's across the aisle.
Those comments triggered a backlash from conservatives, with even White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller comparing it to the liberal American Civil Liberties Union. Bondi then clarified, saying my intention was to speak about threats of violence that individuals incite against others. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Turning now to a lighter side in our news coverage, we're going to go to the world of entertainment and our Studio 5 look at the new music project from the pioneers of contemporary Christian music, the Archers. We'll hear more about Legacy Live right after this. Welcome back to CBN NewsWatch. The Archers began making waves in the 1960s as pioneers of contemporary Christian music. Well, today the music continues with their new music project. It's called Legacy Live, and it is their first full-length album in 3 decades.
God in his graciousness and his favor just was opening doors. I hope that the music, as people's ears hear it for the first time, no matter what age you are or what genre you prefer, I just pray that you'll give it a listen.
So when we trace back the history of Jesus movement music, if you will, front and center are the Archers. How's that feel?
Feels pretty good now. And it was good then.
Then we got to sing about the one we all loved the most, that had, you know, the God who had the greatest impact on all of our lives.
Yeah.
It was really
we were kids that were really, we had parents who really loved God and really believed what they preached.
That's the Jesus movement. The Jesus movement, Jesus music, it's Jesus.
Take me back to that time. Did you guys know you were pioneering something different?
We were pretty young, and I think we had a sense of that, especially once we moved from my dad's church, where we started our band and did the outreaches and stuff. Then we ended up in Orange County, California, near Calvary Chapel. I don't know how to describe it, the druggies and the hippies and that Calvary Chapel was ministering to. And those little things were kind of going on the East Coast too, where Phil Keaggy came from and others. But we had to fight some battles. The church wasn't too excited about the drums and guitars at first. But once they started seeing that people's lives were being changed, then they began to turn it around. So it was a very, very special time in Christian music history.
How are you feeling about the project, looking back at the many hits you guys have had?
Wow. We did a medley in the middle of the record with got 5 songs. And one of those songs in that medley is It Won't Be Long.
Yeah.
And then we did our Grammy song, which is Give Us This Day Our Daily Bread from the Lord's Prayer. Steve, my brother Steve's classic that the Archer fans love so much, Make Me an Instrument. It's just, and so we put that in the medley. And then the reason this album came about, in 2013, I was diagnosed with stage 3 oral cancer. And I didn't think I was ever going to even talk again, let's sing again. And God just, I'm telling you, I told somebody, I can never imagine me not believing God, not trusting God, because I've seen Him so many times in my life. And the first time I sang after that surgery was at this live concert. And my song, Picking Up the Pieces of My Life, that I wrote in 1979 in the middle of the night, is on the end of that medley. And picking up the pieces of my life, bringing new releases just in time. So I was living that song that night, on the other side of that song. And we were so grateful, with such gratitude. My wife and I, she said, let's do a Jesus music concert, because her life was changed by Jesus music when she was 15. So there's the connections. And I'll tell you, I'm very proud of the record. After I did a mix, we decided to record it. I did a mix to listen to after the concert. And I pulled into my garage, and I have tears running down my face, because I'm like rediscovering the power of these songs. And I went inside and told my wife, we have to make an album out of this. And that's how this happened.
When do you think you guys realized the power of the work you were doing? Really,
doing this project has been awakening. And I think this process in doing this live album, really, we realized, oh, wow. We've been doing these media things, and it's like, wow, this is pretty cool. Because people are they're just loving it.
How does the life you live compare to the dream you may have had as a kid? Is it all you expected or totally different?
Some of it's all you expected, and some of it's different. We're just small town preachers' kids. And you always kind of feel that way. You can look at your Grammy, or you can have people tell you certain things, but we still have that foundation lived in us. And that simple, humble, hopefully, and when people tell you you're a legend, or you're this, or you're that, I mean, that's just people saying things. The journey was worth it all. It was just incredible.
The messages of these songs, have touched people's lives way back then and even to this day, and they're a current message.
The Archers' album Legacy Live is available right now wherever you purchase, download, or stream your listening material. And tonight, a special edition of Studio 5. We've got a one-on-one conversation with recording artist Jordan G. Welch. She's a chemical engineer and now a Stellar Award-nominated singer and songwriter. She's talking about her life and her musical journey in that special. You can catch it on the CBN News channel at 8 Eastern. You can also watch it on the CBN News app, and you're able to find it on YouTube as well. We're coming right back with an encouraging word for your Wednesday. Stay with us.
Introducing a brand new way to start your morning. Get your daily quick start from CBN News. A quick read on the important news of the day delivered right to your inbox. Stay current on breaking news, politics, and entertainment. Discover how God is moving around the world and here at home. Plus, get exclusive stories and daily scripture encouragement just for you. Stay informed. Go to quickstart.news and subscribe today. Download the CBN News app, 24/7 news from a Christian perspective at home or on the road. One place for all of your news. Breaking news alerts. Set daily prayer goals and pray for news stories. Read the most important news and watch CBN News Channel live. CBN News, because truth matters. Go to cbnnewsapp.com to get the app today.
Time now for your Wednesday word. Today's word is presence. Know this, no matter how pressing the circumstances may be, God's presence is where you want to be present always. If God is not in the room, you don't want a seat at the table. I've heard it said, the lights may be on, but if God isn't in it, there is still no power. With that word, make this a wonderful Wednesday and be sure to have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. On purpose and with purpose. Well, that is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can always find more of our programs on the CBN News channel at any time, as well as online. That is cbnnews.com. Thank you so much for watching. See you back here tomorrow.